Yeah, this all happened about a half an hour ago. We're just outside of 30th and Cedar. Now, what police tell us is that several people were shot. You can see them working this scene behind me. They have the yellow crime scene tape up. They're talking to neighbors, trying to figure out exactly what happened. Now, we talked to a witness who said a man came in to the courtyard here. He was masked. He had long dreadlocks. And she said he was looking for someone, but he was just kind of shooting at random. She said he shot into her apartment, shooting a friend of hers inside her apartment. She said her son was right there. She was fearful for her son's life. She tells me another woman and a little girl were also shot.
Yes, as Sam just said, you need to have these to be safe. I have my glasses. I am ready. They are handing these out here at the Great Lakes Science Center today. They have a ton of activities, as you can see right behind me. The driver just dropped off two kids when a neighbor approached the bus to tell him the emergency lights weren't on. Well, the two got into an argument, and that's when police say the bus driver reached through the window and hit the man.
On this search, police are looking for Steve Stevens as we speak. I've talked to several police officers this afternoon, and I can tell you that they are very stressed out. This is a very tense situation.
Hatch says it's possible for the drones to fall out of the sky. He says the way technology has advanced, it's pretty uncommon. If you didn't already know how powerful lightning can be, let this be a lesson. Now, the family tells me they think lightning struck this tree, then it went up the driveway, boosted up the car, then continued on into their house.
It made me scream. It was the loudest sound I've ever heard. It sounded like a bomb went off.
Donna Bloxage bolted out of her bed at 2:15 this morning when lightning struck her tree.
We looked outside and we saw the car lights were on. It sounded like the engine was running. We thought, how could that possibly be? So we came outside and saw the airbag was deployed and sort of saw there was quite a bit of damage.
The cement in her driveway popped up like popcorn. The current was so strong, firefighters told Donna it likely blew the car off the ground, slamming it back down so hard the tire blew.
It made everything sort of explode, even down farther on both ends of the driveway. It took out our garage door opener.
A water main just at the edge of the driveway also blew. No one can say for sure if it was related, but Cleveland Water tells me it has never happened before, and they're looking into it. The current also spread into Donna's home.
I saw a little part of the front room carpet had started burning.
And the lightning strike was so powerful, it actually blew out some of the outlets and light switches. You can see the charred marks from where it burned the wiring.
It could have started a fire, and that would have been devastating.
Yeah, the family tells me they are really lucky it wasn't any worse. Of course, now they'll have insurance adjusters and electricians stop by the house. And they've also had neighbors stop by, drop off bottled water, and check in on them just to make sure they're okay. Getting answers, Lacey, Chris, Cleveland 19 News.
Now, that suspect holding police at bay in Brunswick was in contact with Cleveland 19 when the standoff started.
Yeah, he was talking to our own Lacey Chris by way of Facebook Messenger. And Lacey, I understand that you sent him a message when you realized that he knew one of the victims.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook that George Brinkman was friends with all three of those victims, Suzanne, Taylor, and Kylie. I had no idea he would message me later last night saying he was the suspect, and police had him surrounded.
Just before 9 o'clock Monday night, I got a tip police were surrounding a house for a possible suspect from the triple murder in North Royalton. Almost an hour later, I got a message from a man who was friends with the victim, a man who I tried to meet up with for an interview earlier that day. Here is part of our exchange. George Brinkman said to me, Valley Forge Drive, Brunswick, hostage situation, please come. Cops came for me. I'm barricaded. No lies. And I told him, get out of the house, hands up. I called Brunswick police and made sure they knew Brinkman was talking to me on Facebook Messenger. They told me to continue talking to him to encourage him to go to police. I said, can you tell me what happened? And he responded, I'm being blamed for Sue and her daughter's death. I had a broken hand since Friday. How could I control 3 adults with a broken hand? He messaged me from just before 10 until 3 a.m. and was taken into custody around 5:30 a.m. I tried to get him to talk to police. I said, please continue to talk to them. Please let me know if I can do anything. George responded, just let everyone know that I would never hurt Sue or the kids. I loved them too much.
And just to be clear, when I asked him for an interview, I did not know that he was a suspect. We talked to dozens of people on Facebook like Brinkman every day for stories. Now, it was hard for me as a mom of 2 daughters when I realized I was talking to a man accused of killing a mom and her 2 daughters. It was an unnerving evening for me.
Unnerving for sure. Great job keeping your composure in all of this. So I'm fascinated. The police said to go ahead and keep communicating with him as this was all going on.
Yeah, he was responding to me. I don't know if he was responding to them, but they told me to keep encouraging him to talk to them, to try to go out of the house and leave with them so we could end peacefully. He was telling me later, like, goodbye, this is it. So I was worried how it was going to end. I was glad to hear at 5:30 in the morning that he went peacefully.
And again, at one point, you told him, go out with your hands up, try to end this. Okay.
Right.
All right, very good. Lacey, Chris, great job. Thank you. All right.
You're also a little bit sad because, believe it or not, the people that come and they bought peaches from us for 2-3 generations now.
This crop of peaches will be bittersweet to Greg Nagy and his family.
I've been involved with this on and off since I was about 9 years old.
Nagy's family tree runs deep through this land. His grandfather bought the land back in 1942 and grew the peach trees. But don't ask Nagy why peaches.
I don't know. I really don't.
At one time, the family employed about a dozen workers to keep up with the peaches and other vegetables. Like many things of days gone by, those are a distant memory.
It's a tradition, I would say. It's going to be a long lost art, so to speak, in years to come when we're all gone, because you don't find very many roadside stands along.
And just down the street at Chapula Farms, they sell Nagy's peaches. Marianne Chapula tells me her customers request Nagy peaches.
Yes, they do. Every day, every day.
Nagy has already started selling some of the land and equipment, but he doesn't plan on sitting by idly.
I don't know how much I'll kick back because you got to stay busy, otherwise you turn into a couch potato, and unfortunately that's not one particular crop I'm fond of, so that's it.